All right, so today was a squat and bench day. I hit 100 kilos for 100 kilos for 25 reps. Woke up today quite sore actually in the legs. Not so sore, but kind of like lactic acid, kind of almost had a pump before the pump kind of thing. But anyway, I got 25 reps with that, and then I moved on to bench press. I've been thinking lately not to do the exact routine that I do for squats on bench, because by the time I hit 60 kilos for 20, then I go to 70 kilos for 20, I can't get almost I feel like I can't get 80 kilos for 20. That pre-fatigue of doing 60 and 70 for 20 completely screws me up, and then I basically have no top end at all. So I've kind of reversed the order on that. I do kind of a sprint up towards my daily max, kind of the stuff I used to do before. Today I managed to hit 120 kilos for 1 rep, and then I went back down to 80 kilos, and I did that for 20 reps. And then I did 70 and then 60 for 20 reps as well. So it's interesting. I just feel like for the upper body, it's a little different for me. On the squat, I really feel my performance is best when I really warm up the hips, the hamstrings kind of thing. So if I was to come in here and do a minimal warm up and go to a max on the squat, I feel a little bit uncomfortable. My joints are not as lubricated, if you will. Feels a lot better when I do the bar for 20, and then lately I've been doing 100 kilos for an AMRAP step essentially, and then after that do singles all the way up to 200 kilos or whatever I feel on the day. So for squats, I feel like volume leading up to a top is best. For bench press, I feel like get up to the max and then work your way down. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's a smaller muscle group, a lot less kind of moving parts, if you will. And the shoulder is a smaller joint compared to the hip, whereas the hip has some really big muscles there. A lot of weight used, so it's probably best to take this approach. Whenever you're talking about the spine, you don't want to be going in cold to a top single. I've done it in the past. The majority of my Squat Everyday program thus far has been doing that exact thing, where I do very minimal warm-up sets, no pump whatsoever. I just basically get up to the top single, just basically doing singles, doubles and triples, and basically eventually I developed this hip thing, which I think it's a TFL kind of tendonitis issue, which kind of then ties into your iliotibial band, ITB. And so I took some time to kind of work out that warming up properly is the best way to go about heavy weight, low repetitions. The funny thing is that when I do the AMRAP at 50% of my 1 rep max, which is 100 kilos, you would think that I'm pre-fatigued, I won't be able to get to the top single, but evidence and my experience so far has showed that I actually don't lose that much at the top end. In fact, I feel like the pump in the hamstrings, in the quads, in the glutes actually helps me get out of the hole, because I feel like the muscle swells up and I sort of feel like I'm stronger at the bottom. So it's an interesting thing. It's kind of opposite to the upper body. In the upper body, I feel like if I just exhaust myself with light weights, by the time I get to the top, there's just no pushing power. The chest is completely fried. So I'll continue to tinker with this and try and work out what the best routine is. I do like training both spectrums at the same time, meaning I like to touch heavy weight and I like to do pump work. I guess you can call this a DUP, daily undulating periodization. A few years ago it was quite popular amongst everyone, but that kind of calls for having one day where you do high reps, one day where you do medium reps, one day where you're doing low reps, and you do all of that in 1 week. My thing is I feel like I can do both in the same day. Training is all about experimentation, trying to work out exactly what works for you. Right now I feel like this is the path for me. I feel like the squat definitely is on the right path. I just feel really good. It gives me, I guess, a peace of mind that I don't have to get up every day and hit a super heavy weight. Previously I'd be kind of like worried if I get to say 140 kilos and I don't feel that pop. So I'm like, shit man, I gotta get to 180. Like it's gonna be kind of like grindy kind of weights. Obviously I would never grind weights out, to the extreme. So I would usually call the session at, you know, much lower weight. This way, I feel like if I just do my work, get my reps in, then I feel kind of satisfied and accomplished for the day because I've done the reps. I've done heaps of practice in the form of an AMRAP. And then occasionally when I feel the AMRAP really good, then I would continue on and do, you know, the top sets. So, you know, I'm just playing around with this stuff. You know, I'm getting successful, I'll keep doing it. With the bench press, I'm not sure because you know, there was a bit of time there that I didn't do any bench press when I got sick for a week and a half to 2 weeks. So that was kind of weird. Come back, not feeling all that strong, and then I started hitting the volume, you know, doing the 20 reps. And I feel like I've lost a bit of the top end. I feel like if I went back to that routine where I was doing 10 sets of 3 for weeks on end before I hit the 140, I would probably get that back. But right now I just want to build a solid base. I'm all about base right now. Build that base, also practice the skill which is at hand, you know, lifting 1 rep maxes. That's the skill that I'm practicing. So I have to do my sport, right? Like, I don't agree with this thing where you're going 2-3 months on without touching anything heavy. I think you should have days where you just kind of feel the weight in your hands or your back or whatever the case might be, and then continue doing your base. I don't think it's going to hurt you. That doesn't mean you have to do 10 sets of 1 or 10 triples, you know, mid-base building. You can still, what I'm saying is it won't hurt you just to feel the weight once a week or something. Anyway, that's where I'm at right now. Tomorrow I will do some RDLs, I think. And yeah, more squatting. Catch you in the next one. See you guys.